What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video I'm going to try to answer the question of whether or not to buy the Coulson's Revenge. First off, the Coulson's Revenge is a fire energy ranged tech weapon that's going to hit one enemy, and it comes 10 levels above whatever your current level is. For me, that makes this weapon's power level a 310. The Coulson's Revenge damage is very impressive, and I wish that mine was a power level 310. However, at 56 gold, I'm just going to have to stick with my level 300 Coulson's. Now, if you have this weapon and you love using it, and your current one desperately needs reforged, you may want to take a look at buying this. It would only be a 12 gold increase over reforging, so I think that makes it a viable option. Now, what this particular weapon does is it grants Avengers Assemble. Your entire team will gain coordinated attack, so basically when one attacks, then the other allies have a chance to follow up. If you plan on using the Avengers, you can gain cooperative defense and collaborative effort. Cooperative defense will cause your allies to have a chance to retaliate when an ally is hit by single target attacks, and collaborative effort will give your team morale boost. Basically, this increases your stats. The main problem with this is not too many people are using the Avengers. Those costumes aren't very good. Then the only other thing this weapon does besides the high damage is ignores defense. That means this damage will ignore the enemy's defense stat, and it penetrates shield statuses. Now what we're going to do is take a look at it in PvP combat, and I'll give you a further critique and a true opinion on whether or not I think you should buy it. Truthfully, it's going to be somewhat situational. My main knock against this weapon is the fact that it mainly relies on a proc. The coordinated attack proc has fluctuated throughout the history of this game. I've seen periods where it procs all the time and you'll get a ton of follow-up attacks, and then I've seen periods where it doesn't go off at all. This means it's pretty unreliable, and that kind of bothers me. It happens to be one of the first weapons that I did reforge once I hit 300, but I've used it very little since. So if you're looking to get this because you think coordinated attack is going to make all the difference in the world, well, you'll probably end up regretting it. However, I will admit, when it does proc, it usually ends up in a massacre. That's what made this weapon so great back when everyone wanted it. Back then, one-hit KOs or one-turn KOs didn't happen too often. The only way you were going to knock out someone before they even got an attack was with this weapon and the procs. Otherwise, you pretty much relied on stuns to stop the opponent's turns. Coordinated attack, when it happened, made this weapon unmatched in PvP. Nowadays there's so many options and so many heavy hitters, it's not the single answer that it once used to be. Still, let me just say that if you're looking for a heavy hitting weapon, and you don't already have one, the Coulson's Revenge could work out perfectly. So for example, if you're looking for a combination for the arc reactor charge, or maybe sudden support, this could work out very well for you. If your scenario is using the Coulson's Revenge as a high damage weapon, and the proc rate on coordinated attack is just kind of a secondary bonus, then this will be perfect for you. My only advice is just don't rely on that proc. Then when it does work, you'll end up annihilating the enemy team, and it's almost like you ended up getting a surprise gift. Now coming up in the match, we're going to see our first proc for this weapon. First, we're going to give Tactician Training to Spider-Man. This will grant him an extra turn when he uses a single target attack. And by the way, I love using Taskmaster and Spidey on the same team. Next, I'm going to use our level 1 Trick Shot, and hopefully we get some follow-up attacks. It's actually really cool when you have your combat message speed toggled on, because he'll just keep firing his bow right from the hip. It's rapid fire archery on that Trick Shot. So anyways, here goes hopefully the first of many. He always starts out with a pinpoint target, and then he only fired once that time. Sometimes he'll keep firing until the enemy's dead. But it looks like this time he's going to fire it twice, and then that's going to be it. Luckily, we do gain a coordinated attack, and we finish their agent because of it. So now, since Spidey has Tactician power, we'll start by using our Web Shot on Iron Patriot. This will set him up for a pretty big web slingshot. You absolutely have to love being able to set up your own self with 2 attacks in a row. And speaking of multiple attacks in a row, let's just go back to Trick Shot and use that on Cyclops. The second shot is going to be the Charm. So now Cyclops is KO'd, and we're down to War Machine with 434 HP. As soon as we can lay one finger on him, he'll be finished. So if you're forcing me to answer one question, yes or no, is the Coulson's worth buying? My answer is actually going to be no. If it were up to me to buy it right now, I would pass. However, if you are in that situation that I was talking about, and you're using it as your high damage item, and then the coordinated attack is just a bonus, then by all means get it. Or if the proc rate seems to be turned up, even though you have to be wary of that, because it may go back down. Either way, I just don't think it's the must-have that it used to be. And that's just my humble opinion, and I really hope it helped. Lastly, thank you all for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck, and take care.